Hello, this is your host, Ronaldo Valentine, and this is Future Rich as Dubai. We're closing the gap between education, technology, and business. This week, we take a closer look at strategic sourcing. As noted previously, strategic sourcing is a broader and more comprehensive process than procurement. We consider here a 7 step methodology that details the strategy sourcing process overall, and it begins with step 1. Strategic sourcing team meeting. The first step in the process is the kickoff meeting for the upcoming calendar or fiscal spending year. Essentially, in this meeting, you want to have the chief operating officer, chief financial officer, and the chief procurement officer. According to a global survey of CFOs and supply chain leaders conducted by EY, 70% of CFOs and 63% of supply chain leaders say that their relationships have become better and more collaborative over the last 3 years. In this meeting, you will discuss the 3 Ds: define the current needs, define and evaluate internal requirements, define whether to repair, buy, or lease. A comprehensive assessment of the supply market will include a thorough market analysis. The supply market might be a highly competitive market with many suppliers, an oligopolistic market with a few suppliers, or a monopolistic market with a single entity supplier. Step 3: developing the sourcing strategy. A key aspect of due diligence is the supplier portfolio screening process, which includes initial supplier research and screening development of a request for information. Step 4: executing the sourcing strategy. This step essentially begins with an evaluation of the suppliers that successfully passed the RFI and RFP screening process and concludes with the awarding of the contract. Step 5: implementation of the contractual agreement integration. The key components of Step 5 are the finalization of the contractual agreement, planning the transition process, particularly if switching suppliers, and the receipt of the specified products or services. With the receipt of the order under a new contract, the procurement team begins the generation of performance data necessary to establish a vendor. Step 6: supplier performance measurement and improvement. A critical and key step in the strategic sourcing process is the measurement and programmed improvement process for supplier performance. This involves the ability to provide time, quantity, and place utility in the form of goods and services for the benefit of the consuming organization. And step 7: maintenance of records and relationships. That is, creating a PO log which identifies all POs by the number and indicates the open or closed status of each. PO file containing a copy of all POs filed numerically. Commodity file showing all the purchases of each major commodity item reflecting date, supplier, quantity, price, and PO number. Supplier history file showing all purchases placed with major Tier 1 suppliers, outstanding contracts against which orders are placed as required, proof of meeting the requirement, the volume stipulated in the contract, a commodity classification of items purchased, a database of suppliers that have been used and are currently being used, saving generated by contracted supplier, by product category, or by the type. It is equally important as part of the sourcing strategy to include a minority and small business dashboard for reporting purchases, usage, and contractual arrangements with notes. This was brought to you by Ronaldo Valentine with Valentine Logistics. Ideas from the book Delivering Customer Value Through Procurement and Strategic Sourcing by Walter L. Wallace and Yusin Zia. You can find more information on O'Reilly.com or contact Ronaldo Valentine at vlogistics.us.